Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. Look who's back in town. Betty is back. My brother brought her over, having me do some work to it. I did all the mechanical work, but I didn't make any videos on that because that was boring stuff. This video is going to be about fixing that paint bubble right there. Now, when I looked at the footage of me fixing this area, I could see the problem. When I welded these pieces together here, I had like a little hole that I didn't weld up, and that turned into a rust pocket. So what I'm going to do, I think first I'm going to cut out the bubble, and I'm going to try to repair most of it from the back side. Take the tire off and get in there and clean all that out of there, and maybe even weld it from the back side. I don't know yet, but I really want to keep the damage or my paint area down below this character line. So I'm going to tape that, try to save all that paint, because I only want to paint this area and maybe blend it out. I don't want to paint the whole dang quarter panel, which ends in, can't paint just the quarter, you got to paint the roof and the other quarter. Yeah. So anyways, right now I'm going to concentrate on keeping the repair here. First step, get a utility knife, cut that bubble out. Try to go around the edges first. We're going to find out what lies under this bubble real quick here. I'm guessing it's rust. All right, here we go. Take a peek. Water. Water. No rust. Water. The water's getting back there. Yeah, it doesn't smell like anything. It's definitely water. It kind of changes my whole thought process here of what I'm going to do. But I still am going to just tape this top part off. Might have to expand my cut out further. Make sure that there isn't anything back there. Plan's changed. I don't know what it is yet. I'm going to start by taping that upper portion. Got some starting fluid. Clean this off in case there's any wax or something on there. Won't hurt to clean the back side. I have to figure out how that water's getting in there. I don't think it's coming from inside the wheel well. I think it was coming from between the quarter panel and the wheel house, it's called, getting in there. So I'll see if I can get in from the trunk, maybe run a bead of caulk or something in there to stop it. come down off that lip a little bit if I can. Of course, this tape doesn't want to bend around corners very well. And wide. But the tape is to protect the rest of the paint from me sanding, so I don't sand into what's under the tape. So this doesn't have to be smooth, just want to make sure that this edge here is protected. Yeah, do this. I don't want to have to sand anywhere past the edges of this tape either. Retain my sanding here, my patching there, or whatever I'm going to do. I need to investigate inside there. I'm going to open the trunk, get a light, and see what I can see in there, if I can actually see in there. May not be able to. Yeah, I got a light inside the trunk, and the problem where the water's getting in, I don't know how I'm going to get anything in there to seal that. I did notice here that whatever that's behind there is loose. Now I rhino lined the inside of this. Just, went over what was here. I think to fix this, I'm just going to have to cut away whatever's there, patulate it somehow, respray it with something. But the problem is up in there. I think it's like at the top. Yeah. It's down in that trough. I'd like to spray something in there. Nozzle on an undercoating can and stick it in there and give her hell. It's just not an easy area to get to, that's all. I'll figure something out. Yeah, I'm looking at this and I can't see where water would have got in there or could get in there. I don't know anything, folks. I was really expecting a rust pocket back there. This is throwing me for a loop. So I'm going to cut this a little bigger, investigate some more here. Scrape up that metal real good. Maybe even etch it with some Eastwood fast etch. And then fill it, sand it, paint it. I mean, it's crazy. Cut on an angle. Okay. Aha! I just found a hole over here. All right, let's open this up. Well, I'm carving away at Duraglass, and that stuff gets hard. But that would make the only sense for water to get in there is from a hole that I suspected all along. You know, when like I said, I watched the videos that I made when I was fixing this area, and I could see that I left a spot. You guys are probably saying, just grab your little sander and sand all that off of there. Well, you know, just be patient, people. I'm investigating right now. They already nicked the tape. So I should take that tape. Yep, stop right here. Take that off. Redo it. If I nicked it, that's just going to cause problems later when I start sanding this. I'll start over with tape. Use some flexible or more flexible tape. Get it around the edge of where I cut, right there. Down here. Ah. Step that back a little so the edges are not lined up. There's a little margin yellow tape showing there. And that gives me a little more sanding protection. Stop sanding there. Stop sanding over here. I'm going to get back to my investigative digging, whatever the term is. I think you guys are going to have to move the other side. Yeah. You need to dig over here. I want to have a little more control off to my right side. I'm digging out all that Duraglass there. There is a hole there though. So the water had to come through that hole and migrate over to here. Alright, I'm guessing, who knows. Should just shut up and fix it. Not worry about how it got there. It's there. Now we gotta keep it out. Alright, it's time to take the tire off. I'm gonna scratch this all up good so whatever I put on there is gonna stick. Give it some tooth. Alright. Take the tire off, get back here and cut away all that, and I can get some tools out, some grinders or whatever, and grind that backside. You got the tire off. I'm going to take a angle grinder with this really aggressive steel wire wheel on it. Go back here and grind away the coatings and Duraglass and everything that's back there. It looks absolutely fine back there too. And I'm in the inside here, scraping from the back, and I do see a little hole. You scrape some more and I'll bring you in here and show you what I'm talking about. Yep, I have to get the welder out and weld that hole in. If I can show you guys. Don't know how well this is going to focus in here, but back side of this lip, right there is a hole. Let me get my welder out, weld that up. Yeah, I kept it wet for 20 minutes. I'm going to take acetone and clean it off real good. I'll probably melt some of that undercoating, so I gotta be careful I don't contaminate what I'm doing with that. Paper towel, wipe that off, and then I can apply the Duraglass. Got that all cleaned up. Took some 80 grit sandpaper and sanded around the repair area in the bare metal. Got a heat gun on low here to make sure all that acetone is dried off. And I'll mix up Duraglass. I'm going to rub it really, really good into these areas. First coat, then rub and scrub it into the metal, surrounding areas, backside, and then I'm going to go from there. This area of the car is warm. That should take care of any of the remaining acetone. dry, ready to go. Duraglass. Just rub it, scrub it into the metal. Put some on the inside. Got limited time to do this. I'm going to take my finger and shove it in, rub it in. As this stuff starts to harden up, first it'll get crumbly, like it's starting to do right now. And then there's no spreading it after that. Oh, my arm out there. Oh, let that harden up, and then I can put on a good coat. Okay, as that's starting to harden up, you take 80 grit on a black. Make sure that that is not sticking up proud. It's flat. Backside's feeling good. I'm going to let this stuff harden up for about 20 minutes. Put on another coat. While I wait for that Bondo to cure, I have some of that stuff scraped off the inside of the trunk here. I chipped away what I could. Whatever was loose came off easy. I must not have cleaned it properly before I sprayed it on. I'm going to take starting fluid, hose this down good. Do this a couple of times. Should get any kind of grease and oil contaminant off of there. And I'll look and see what kind of undercoating stuff I have on hand. Put over that. One last hose down. Let that dry off good. Okay, this Bondo is what is this stuff? You pull one coat or one fill or Dolphin. You pull Dolphin one fill. That's what's on there now. Right, there's some little fine sanding here up by the paint line. If I keep this flat on this wheel lip, shouldn't affect the paint above the character line. I just want to sand enough to get it smooth. And then I can put primer on it. get ready to paint it. Yeah, I wiped all that off. I'm going to tape it. And I'm going to prime it, but I'm just going to use my little airbrush. You know, there's no point in me mixing up a lot of paint to do this. I'm just going to kind of blendulate with the airbrush into these other parts of the wheel lip. And, you know, it's a daily driver type car. It's going to be fine. My tape just rolled right through all the crap and dust on the floor. Try that again. All right. I gotta get my fine line tape to do this curve. And it's gonna take me a while to find that. So I'm gonna pause you guys while I look for that. I want to contain my blend like in this area. So if I come out here and cover all this up. I cover all this up. Fix this where I screwed it up. Like that. Then I'll prime this area. Take tape off. Expand it. Retape. Paint. I'm going to use the Epoxy Primer on this. The 1-to-1 mix. I'm going to thin it out a little. Then put it in my airbrush thingy here and spray light it. And then I gotta wait. Gotta mix this up and wait a half an hour for it to induce an induction period. Okay, so this is gonna take a while. What time is it? 4:30. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to get this painted tonight or not. We'll see. I know I gotta mix this stuff up good. I'll bring you guys back after I get this mixed up and ready to spray. I have the epoxy mixed up. It's been inducing for an hour. It's hard to mix a little bit and measure it. So I know I've got way too much in here. But that's the way it is. I'm going to pour it in here. And I've probably got at least 2 of these in there, and I'm going to use just a portion of this one. I'm going to turn you guys around. Get my spray pattern. That might work. You have to let that set up for a couple hours and paint it. Okay, it's the next morning. Yesterday I gave this the epoxy primer. So today what I need to do is sand this down, paint it. Pull back my tape so I can sand the white edge. And I think what I'm going to do is curl back, the blue, get that out of the way of the sanding edge. The paint edge. And I have to peel this back here. And I'm going to blendulate the paint back in this area. I'm going to use some 800 sandpaper for this. Lightly. This is just to scuff up the primer. And right now I'm concentrating on that tape edge. Okay, now what I need to do is really clean this edge up here, retape it up, because I'm going to be peeling this back more, but I will be painting the inside of this lip, so let me sand on that. It all looks good enough inside there. I can spray black paint in there to match the Z-bar. Alright, I have that sanded down. I got the tape peeled back a lot. What I'm going to do now is tape over this painted area of the plastic, because that stuff can flake off and fall down into the paint. Grab my tape, and I'll just kind of, let me maybe roll that back as I do this. I do plan to put a sharper tape line in there. I had to sand that out first before I could do that. This will be taped out of the way. And this is covering up all the gray paint that's on the plastic that could flake off and fall down and ruin this area. I have that taped the way I want it. I have it cleaned. Now it's time to mix the paint and spray around. I'm going to mix up the paint. This doesn't hold very much. I think it's only like an ounce. 4-1-1 mix means 4-part paint, 1 part reducer, 1 part hardener. And what I'm going to also do is mix up a tiny bit of clear coat and add that to the white paint. That's a lot to mix up into a little 1-ounce container. I've got this plastic thing from cough syrup. It's in milliliters. As long as it's 4-to-1, it doesn't matter if it's ounces or milliliters. Mix all this up with the clear, put it here, cap on it, and then take the airbrush and paint it. Paint's all mixed up. This thing is full. I got paint, reducer, and hardener, plus some clear in here. Not a lot of clear, maybe 10% mixture is clear. I'm going to put a few thin coats on here. Right now I'm just concentrating on the primer area. Okay, that's good enough for the first coat. That's a tack coat, it's a thin coat. Let that harden up, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. And then I'll be able to put another coat on. It's been about 20 minutes, the coat is dry. Now I'm going to spray on second coat. This one will be a little thicker. Of course, now it's the third coat. This one I can blend out a little bit further. I still want to put more in the center area. I think that's about it for this coat. I'm going to put the last coat on there. And of course I got some trash right there in the paint. But what I did, I'm peeling back the edge of this tape a little. Kind of give more of a soft edge. I moved the tape up from where it was. And after all this dries, I can sand down that transition from new to old. I can get a reflection, see if I need more paint. I think that's going to flatten out great. All right, I'm going to let that dry. And I'll pull the tape off and show what it looks like in about an hour or so. Trying to remove tape and plastic and see how this came out. It's a sunny day, so I'm going to take the car outside, let it sit in the sun and cure. I mean, it's dry to the touch, but it's not really dry, if you know what I mean. It's only been about half hour, 45 minutes. Okay, first glance. I think it's going to be okay. Got a little ledge there I'll be able to sand off. Blends look good. The repair looks good. Looks smooth. I don't see any big bubbles or anything in it. Gonna put the tire back on. Set it in the sun for a while. And that is going to also bring us to the end of this episode of Dan's Messy Garage, repairing the paint bubble on Project Betty. Please stay tuned to my channel for other episodes, tips, tricks, and videos. Goodbye.